Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, and today we are doing the intimidating TBR pile book tag, which is one that I've always wanted to do. And I finally can, and I could have done it before, but I can finally talk about all these books that I have on my TBR that I'm super intimidated by for a number of reasons and that I haven't gotten to yet. So without further ado, let's just get right into the first question, which is, what book have you been unable to finish? And this is a very long list, but I want to talk about one that I feel like I talked about a lot when I started this channel because I was very excited about it. So I want to give you a quick update on it because it hasn't been going that well, and that's The Kingdom of Back by Mary Lou. First of all, the cover is just so stunning, and that's one of the reasons I bought it, and I started reading it the other day, like a month ago. And I just could not get into it. This book follows a girl who is a sister of Mozart, and she basically wants to be really famous and loved and wants to compose music, but she's not allowed to by her father and by the oppressing times in which she's living. And apparently a guy comes and tells her he can grant her wish if she does one thing, and it sounds cool. I love the idea of combining magic with fantasy. Of combining magic with music, but I don't know. I don't know what was about it. I just couldn't get into it, and I put it down, and I honestly don't think I'll ever come back to it. It's kind of sad. The next question is, what book do you have yet to read but just haven't had the time? For this question, I'm going with a book that's been here for a while, like 3 years, I think. And that's, I think it's called The Truth About the Affair of Harry Kipper, something like that. I pulled the title somewhere in here because I don't remember exactly in English. This is a book my friend gave to me, and it's a murder mystery about this guy that, like, I don't know if it's a murder mystery. Yes, it is. And there's a lot of like moral reflections and generally contemporary times, modern times, and America, literature, and there's a lot of reflections in this book. It's really good apparently, but I still have yet to read it. The next question is, what book do you have yet to read because it's a sequel? And I actually don't have an answer for this question because I just don't own any book I haven't read that's a sequel, of which I have not read the first book. I generally don't buy a sequel if I have not at least obtained, but usually read the first book because I don't know, don't want to risk it. What do I do with it then if I don't like it? Yeah, I'm just that type of person. The next question is, what book do you have yet to read because it's brand new? And usually in this question people answer like a book that just came out, but I don't have anything like that either. So I'm gonna go with a book I recently bought that I haven't read yet because it's brand new on my shelves. And that is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is a book that I heard about on Books and Bound, which is a bookish podcast by Ariel and Raylene. It's also really cool. And I heard about it and it just sounds super cool. It's about a bunch of people who are trying to change their past or change their lives before coffee gets cold. I just decided to buy it. I haven't read it yet. I don't know when I'll get to it. It's gonna do some sitting in here, but I'll get to it eventually, hopefully. The next question is, what book do you have yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? Okay, this is also a bit of a weird answer I have for this question because I'm gonna talk about Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I was super excited for this book because apparently there's a lot of anxiety representation, like mental disorder representation in it, which is always very interesting for me. And John Green is an author that's just like a must read and a must try at least. And I recently started or tried to start reading his book Looking for Alaska, and I could not get past like the first or second chapter. Just seems like it's targeted at a completely different age group and type of people, and I just don't fit into that category, and I could not finish it. I am kind of skeptical about this now. I hope that I'll manage to read it, I'll manage to enjoy it, but who knows? What book do you have yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? Like everything that's on here, because I am such a mood reader. But if I were to pick one book, I don't remember which one it was. Oh, this one. The Trials of Polo by Rick Riordan. That's the 4th book, The Tyrant's Tomb. Anyways, the 4th book in the Trials of Polo, which is a series by Rick Riordan, based on Greek mythology, in which Apollo, son of Zeus, is sent down to Earth to make up for some mistakes that he made in one of the previous books and a series by Rick Riordan. It's super fun. I know many people are apprehensive about getting into the series because it's like, oh, it's not Percy Jackson, blah, blah, blah. But, like, never mind. Apollo is super cool. His sidekicks are not as cool in my opinion. I don't really like them. But Apollo is super funny and humorous, and the change he undergoes in these books is incredible to witness in my opinion, so I would highly recommend it. But why have I not read this one? I don't know. I'm just not in the mood for it. I tried and I was like not in the mood for it, and there's book 5 coming out like this year. I should read it. I probably should have read it, but I haven't. Okay, moving on. The next question is, what book do you have yet to read because it's humongous? I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't say it's so big, but that is Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a fantasy series that is basically recommended to every fantasy reader ever, and is like loved by everyone who actually reads it. And just this fact that it's so popular and loved makes me really stressed about it, because what if I end up not liking it? There's just too much pressure on the book that I can't handle. I don't know how this book can handle it, but I can't. So, I mean, the size is kind of intimidating to me. Also, the letters are kind of really small, and oh, did I just break it? No. But yeah, I'm just kind of really intimidated by the size of this one. The next question is, what book do you have yet to read because it is a cover buy that ended up not having very good reviews? And for this question, I'm gonna go with something that kind of fits. I'm just twisting every question to fit my books. Evermore by Sarah Holland. The first book, Everless by Sarah Holland, was sort of a cover buy because I mean, come on. And also, well, this doesn't have cover items. I kept on thinking it does, but this one does, and it's super beautiful. So I bought this one because of the cover, kind of. I mean, the premise sounded very interesting. It's about a girl trying to save her and her dad from not having any money and being bankrupt by going to the Everless court and serving family there. And basically the concept of the world is super cool because the magic, there allowed people to convert time and someone's blood into coins, and that's just super cool. But anyway, this was kind of a cover buy, and this had kind of okay reviews, but this one doesn't really have that such good reviews, and everyone says it's a letdown and all stuff, but I still bought it because the cover is beautiful. And you know. The next question is, what is the most intimidating book on your TBR? And the book I'm going with for this question, which is also the last question, wow. Okay, so the book I'm going with is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, The Lion, The Witch, The Wardrobe, and all the other books. And also, this is very intimidating because it's a pretty big book. Like, if you compare it to like an average book, it's pretty damn big, and I'm really intimidated by it because The Chronicles of Narnia is one of these books that I started reading when I was younger and that I never finished it because I got bored, but I really love the movies, and I feel very intimidated to read it because what if I end up not liking it? I'm just gonna be devastated because I really want to love it, and it's one of all the books I have here, this is the one that I really have the highest hopes in, but simultaneously it's more about me. I need to love this book, and I'm scared what happens if I don't. Alright, well, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe you have some intimidating books. We all do. So what are your intimidating books on your TBR pile? I'd love to hear that. It's very interesting, and maybe sharing some of the fear of reading will help us all get into these very intimidating books. I hope you're having a good day. I hope things are all okay, and I hope to see you in the next video, and yeah, bye. I can't find the record button.